Lincoln Cathedral is one of Europe's finest Gothic buildings. It was once the tallest building in the world and still dominates the Lincoln skyline. Maintenance crews work hard to look after the cathedral. One of those people is Stuart Boyfield, the Domus supervisor, the man who runs the house, and he leads one of the maintenance teams. Today, we're following Stuart as he goes about his work, and we meet him at the start of his working day.
The first job today, I'm going into the cathedral and I'm going to top up the sand pots where the people light candles to say a prayer. So I'm just going to top those up. If we can get across the road. Okay. At the cathedral, I've worked here for nearly 37 years. It'll be 37 years in May. The Latin job title is Domus Supervisor, so it's house supervisor, so it's dome house supervisor. So the cathedral is on the hill, on, should we say, a dome, and it's the house of God, so I'm the house supervisor. I've only been that for probably the last 13, 14 years. So came to the cathedral in '77 as a maintenance bricklayer. But that involved lots of like bricklaying, plastering, roofing, all maintenance jobs. And the Domus supervisor who was then retired, so I was asked if I'd like to take on the job. Because that one key there, that one key fits all the doors of the cathedral. So this is the workman's entrance. There we go. I'm just looking at the time, it's only not quite 8:25, so I don't want to go in the cathedral yet until 8:30, so I'm just going to go to the, because I've got some clocks to wind today as well. Morning, morning. Right, so this is one of 4 clocks that I have to wind every week. Okay, so they last, I have to wind it approximately 14 winds today, and that lasts obviously 2 winds per day, that lasts 7 days, so obviously once a week for winding. And you can always tell when it gets close to being fully wound because you can feel the spring getting tight. So as long as you don't overdo it, it's all right. Just check the time. That's about right. So I keep that pair of steps in there, nice and handy for doing the clock, and they're also handy anywhere in this area you need a pair of steps. Just get the key out of the coffee shop and you've got a pair of steps. Right, put the key away. Brilliant job, I just love my job. I just love my job. I don't know, it is, I mean, you know, once you come to work here, it just gets everybody. I mean, obviously you get people come and people go, but there's people here that's been here a long time, and it's one of those jobs really. So, and I think the job I do, it's so varied, and you just get so much of a different. Yeah, just really enjoy it. Really enjoy it. So, what I've been 36 years, nearly 37 years. So, yeah. It's lovely. This time of morning, it's so peaceful, beautiful. This is one area in the cathedral where people come in and they light a candle, say a prayer. So, but when the candles burn down, they always leave like a waxy stub in the sand. So I'm just going to clear those out first before I top the pots up. Not too bad today. Just some days there's quite a lot in. but we're not too bad today. So we tend to do this job first thing in the morning while it's quiet and before too many people get around. And these pots are what's known as the Gilbert pots. It's to do with the Gilbert of Sempringham. They were made for the cathedral by a local potter. I would imagine they take quite a bit of on the throwing these. Not like your average pot, are they? Quite big, but they're nice, lovely. I do enjoy it when you come in this time of morning, and it's peaceful, and then gradually, you know, people start coming in and moving about, and other people coming to work in the offices, and then gradually it starts to get busier as the morning goes along, and then I suppose the busy time is sort of late morning through to mid-afternoon this time of year, and then you come back in here probably 4, 4:30, and it's nearly quiet again, just as it is now. Yeah, it's nice, but it's also nice when you've got lots of children, you get school visits, and there's lots of noise and chitter chatter, and it needs people to come in, and yeah. But it's you know, it's a beautiful building, and when people come in the main entrance, and they look right the way down, and wow, I just can't believe it. Yeah. Yeah, they're lovely windows, those. Recently restored, only a matter of a few years ago. All those windows have been sort of taken out, taken back to the workshops at the yard, up into our stained glass workshops, and then they painstakingly sort of take them apart and rebuild them, or clean them and rebuild them. They don't always strip them right down. They sometimes just do general repairs on them. But over the last probably 10 years, within the last 10 years, those have all been recently repaired. You get lovely sunlight coming through, especially, you know, on a lovely morning. It streams through the windows. It's beautiful. So, but there's some lovely colours. Look at those beautiful blues, and I know, it's just so much detail. Yeah, there's some terrific windows. We'll show you where the imp is. Just on that column, that's the famous Lincoln imp. That's what everybody wants to see when they come to the cathedral. So now we're into the nave of the cathedral, and this area you can see they've got a portable altar, and they've got blue chairs out. So this is where a lot of the bigger services and graduation ceremonies, what the local university holds. So this area gets used a lot for a lot of different things, at concerts, you know, so orchestras and different concerts. I just get Mark, he's our painter and decorator, but just this one clock, I just always need somebody at the bottom of the ladder just to hold the ladder, so I always get one of my colleagues. Hello Mark, it's Stu. Hello mate, are you all right to pop in and just help with the ladder? Is that all right? I'm just about to come into the main entrance now. Yeah, are you across at the centre? Yeah, okay, thanks very much. See you in a bit. Bye, bye. Right, okay, that's all right. He's only just working outside, so right. Oh, here he is. Hello, mate. You all right? Right. Find the right one. Right, mate, just one stand on the bottom. Okay. Nice one. Thanks very much.
All right.
Thanks, Mark.
No problem.
Okay. See you later. So the Bishop's Eye window and the Dean's Eye window. And the Dean's Eye window was completely, the big circle was completely taken out, and it's all sectional bits of stone and glass, and that was completely redone. And our stonemasons in the workshop did everything on there, and the stained glass department. So and then obviously you've got a little bit of things on there about it. But it's quite a while ago now since that was done. And there was scaffold up, sheeting, but there was just one big complete circle there when they got it all, just like one big jigsaw puzzle when they was putting it all back together. Right, okay, we'll go and wind the last 2 clocks now, and then that'll be that job done. Okay, so now we're entering one of the choir vestries where the choir gets changed, but we need to go through the vestry, up the stairs to the song school where the choir rehearse. A little bit slow, that's about right. Right, so now we're entering into the canon's vestry in a moment, but this is the pigeonholes. This is the internal mail system where people put mail and then people come and collect mail. So the works department has one there. So in the morning I'll collect whatever mail there is to take back to the works, and if there's any mail at the works department to bring over and then put it in whoever's pigeonhole. So that's the internal mail system. So the canon's vestry, so this is where the clergy all get robed for services, main services, and even the communion services. This morning, that's probably been worn this morning for the 8 o'clock communion, but in all these drawers and cupboards there's all the robes and what they put on. Just move that a little bit and I can get to the... Who's that? My gargoyle was carved for 30 years service at the Cathedral, and I can show you it later. It's on the outside of the building, and the particular work where they were working, there was a figure where my gargoyle is now. There was an old figure which was completely weathered and worn away, and so they decided to do a gargoyle. Well, it's a grotesque really, but gargoyle does sound better. But because a gargoyle really traditionally is like a water spout, but so it's a grotesque. But gargoyle's nice. So one of the stonemasons in the workshop, they carved that for my 30 years service. So now it'll be on the building for X amount of years, won't it? Hundreds of years. So they've done a few of because I think the stonemasons say a lot of the figures on the cathedral and faces would have been taken from work colleagues hundreds of years ago, and we're only really carrying on the same traditions now as we what we would have done then. So they're doing modern day ones. I think there's about four of the modern day workmen on the cathedral. So which is nice touch to carry on the same traditions. So, this is just a small stores. We keep anything and everything really. Yeah, so the guys know that we open the stores at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, and it's open for about 10 minutes each time, so they know they can come and get stuff. And if they've got a job where they sort of can't foresee what they want, if we're around, we'll always come and get what they want. But generally, we like to stick to the times. Then we can do what we want to do, and then they can do what they want to do. But so yeah, so we've got a bit of all sorts, really. I mean, it's like an Aladdin's cave. Another customer, Jim.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Jim.
Can I have 6 pairs of disposable gloves?
They should be large. Right. So, 1, 2. And what job are they for, Jim?
For the bell tower.
Right, okay. Oh, the bell maintenance, right,
Bell
okay,
maintenance.
yeah. Lovely, thank you.
Sir.
See you later.
See you later.
I mean, I look after the stores, and Jim, what's just been in, is my deputy, and then when I can't do the stores, Jim does. So there's 2 of us looks after the stores and runs the stores. I order all the stock in, and then as it comes in, the delivery notes and invoices go into the office, and then it gets put onto stock control, and then, like I say, as we book things out, it gets put in the book, the job it's for, and then they can allocate it to different jobs, and it spreads the costs. And so you can have a queue out the door sometimes, and sometimes it can be 10:15, 10:20 by the time you get out. So, but it does vary. We have obviously consumables like toilet rolls and hand towels, and then we have protective overalls like the white suits, and then we have all our sandpapers and wood fillers, and then what have we got? So yeah, we've got quite a range of different screws, sizes and types. Right, okay, it's 10:10, nobody else coming, so we'll get locked up. Okay, another trip to the cathedral. One more job this morning. We're just going to go around the cathedral, empty the litter bins and collect the rubbish. Right, okay, we can get across the road, I think. Right, okay, we're just about to have a circuit around the cathedral. There's various litter bins for people to put their litter in, so it's a normal job to pop round every morning and just collect the litter. So get some gloves on. So I normally go around every morning, collect the litter, and then if there's any other bags of rubbish what's been sort of left, and then we'll be taking it eventually out to some wheelie bins and then out to our skip where we dispose of it. And now as we go around, you'll notice there's 1 or 2 people starting to get around now. Just starting to get a few people in, tourists. You can see the stained glass now. Now the sun's coming round a bit further, you're starting to get the stained glass on the slabs now. And look at the richness in those colours transferred onto the stonework. Beautiful sunlight coming through, just amazing. So I've just spotted a bit of litter. I've got a good eye. Like to keep it looking nice for people visiting. So we tend to do a circuit, as you've seen. We've come down that side of the cathedral. Now we sort of go back round this side and then end up back at the cloister. Nothing in that one. And all the time I'm walking round, I'm all the time looking round and checking all my lights and for light bulbs out, and just observation really as you're going round. I mean, you're doing one job, but you're probably looking at 3 or 4 other different things at the same time. So if I spot any light bulbs, that's all part of our work as well, to keep the cathedral lit and keep the cathedral heated, and the fire alarms and all those types of things. That's all part of our work. All right, lads, how are we doing? All right? Good. The wheelie bins are out there, and the coffee shop, they bring their rubbish this way, and other people bring rubbish this way, and I bring rubbish, and then the wheelie bins, I take them to a skip which is just out on the yard. So we'll go and do that now. Oh, it's playtime as well for the school. There we are. Although we get lots of jobs coming in and you have to deal with them, a lot of the jobs have to be structured. You still got to do the main jobs, but then the office might ring. I mean, like yesterday when that burst pipe, that was an unexpected job, so I had to go rushing off to that. And but yeah, you have to have a certain amount of structure. Else you just end up dashing about here, there and everywhere like an headless chicken, and you end up getting nothing done. So you have to have a bit of structure. Hello, Jim. We're about ready when you are. I'll meet you in the transept before you go up the stairs to the monuments. All right. That's all right. We'll make our way there. Bye, Jim. Bye. Okay. Right, okay, so we're just going to go up to the central tower now, to the clock mechanism and the bells, because one of our other jobs is to maintain the clock and the bells, make sure everything's all right, oiling, greasing, general maintenance. So we'll go up there and see what we can find. So this is the start of going to the central tower. When the public come up on a guided tour, this is the way the guide would bring the tourists. This is normally the first rest place for me. Just normally stop and have a breather and have a look what's going on below. So this is what we call the clock chamber. It's the first room you come to when you come off the ground, and it's when you're on the ground in the cathedral and you're looking up into the central tower, into the vaults on the ceiling. This is the first room above the vaults. This is the clock mechanism. This is what drives the bells. It's a lovely bit of kit. And it's in a really nice sort of setting, because generally what you find in a village church, the clock mechanism is in the tower where the bells are, and they're normally covered in pigeon poo. So this one's in a really nice, in its own little house. So it does keep nice. It doesn't touch wood. It doesn't need a lot doing to it. But it's in such a good environment. Right, Jim, have we got latex gloves? Please. They're all right. These are fine. These are fine, look. Because the medium ones sometimes are a bit small, aren't they? I'm just going to put a bit of oil on these, on some of these cogs, just to keep them lubricated. I mean, like I say, it's in such a good environment. I mean, you can imagine if this was in a normal church tower, the pigeons are getting in, the pigeons are roosting on it, there's piles of pigeon poo on it. You can imagine what a state it would be in. But I mean, like I say, this one, it keeps really good, really. I mean, when I first started at the cathedral, I'll always remember there used to be a chap come up every day and hand wind it, and there used to be on the centre drum used to be the wire rope, and that used to be where you put the winding handle on. And I can't remember how many winds, but he used to come up every day and he used to wind that by hand. I checked the time yesterday, not this morning, yesterday, and when the pips went on the telephone, it was about a second out yesterday. But it does fluctuate because the weather conditions, cold weather, expansion, contraction, cold weather, warm weather, it can affect the balance of it, and it can affect the time. Sometimes it ends up, you know, seconds fast, seconds slow. But we like to keep it. We like to keep it really within 15-20 seconds if we can. So, but on the pendulum, there's some like bits of lead, and there's lots of bits of lead, little bits of lead and weights, and they would put weights on the pendulum to slow it down, and they would take weights off the pendulum to speed it up. So there's lots of different weights, but we try and keep it as close as we can. It's not always possible to keep it, but it's about spot on at the minute. So people will be happy in the city. So it won't be the first time we've had people ringing up. Did you know your clock's 30 seconds slow or 30 seconds fast? So, and basically what we're doing, it's just basically you're checking split pins. You check split pins on these movements to make sure no split pins are broken, and little moving parts where sometimes replacing a split pin can save one of the chimes not working. So. But that looks all right anyway. And then sometimes what we have to do, when they sometimes in the cathedral in the evening, they sometimes the choir do CD recordings, and they don't want the bells in the background. So what sometimes we have to do is come up the tower, and what we do, we pull down on these moving parts, and just pull that on that, Jim. And just down on the floor, we've got some hooks and chains. And what we do, you pull down on there, and you hook them down like that, and that stops them ringing. And it's the same with the big one outside. Slightly different mechanism, but so we can anchor all the bells off. The clock maintains going, and then all you do the next morning, you come back up, take all the chains off, and everything starts up again. So,
basically it takes the hammer off the bell, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just pulls the hammer back on the bell. So like now, if I left that now, when it chimes at 1:45, there'll be one of the chimes missing. Yeah. So it just pulls that hammer back off the bell. So we'll just have a little look up here. I'm just checking all the movements really, just to make sure that everything's moving and that's moving freely. Because if that sometimes when the oil gets a bit thick, it gets real gummy and it restricts the movement on there. So we like to keep it all so that it's moving nice and free. And it's like all the chains and they just pass the oil then. Thanks, Jim. But like I say, as long as we keep the chains oiled, but to be honest, it doesn't need a lot doing to it, this one. Just checking where there might be some split pins, because obviously when the chimes are moving, you sometimes get a split pin that breaks, and then we just like, if we can, to put a new split pin in, because if it falls out, the pin falls out, and then you end up with one of the chimes missing, which is no great thing, but it just saves, it keeps everything going. I think that's looking all right, Jim. Okay, let's check that. So what we'll do now, we're happy with that. We'll go a little bit further, and we'll go up the staircase, and we'll end up beyond these beams onto the next level, which is the belfry, where all the bells are. And we'll probably get up there, and then we'll see it chiming upstairs. So, and then we'll check, we'll do the oiling and greasing and check the split pins. And okay, just mind you, that's it. So this is the belfry. We'll just open. So when you're on the ground outside and you look up at the cathedral, and you see all the big louvers. Yep. This is the louvers from the inside. And also when you're looking up, you will see the glass windows below the louvers, which is the clock room where we've just been. So what we do up here, when we come up, we need to check all these moving parts, the pins, the split pins. That one's okay. Just check for any wear and tear. That one's all right. And then all the moving parts in there, there's a little grease nipple on there. We'll pop some grease in there. Pop some grease on there where it, and all the hammers are set just away from the bell, because when that strikes, that leaf spring cushions the blow on the bell, so that you don't get any damage on the bell. If we end up with these on the bells, it can strike the bell too hard, and it could end up cracking the bell. So that all these leaf springs are just like a cushion, basically, just to cushion the blow. How are we doing, Jim? All right. Yep. Put a bit on that one then, mate. You can just see the grease starting to come out each side, and then we just give it a little wiggle about, and you can hear it's all squidgy, and you know it's all got plenty of lubrication. Right, okay, Jim. Do we need the torch? Are we all right?
Yeah, we'll get the torch.
And like I say, you have to keep your eye on the time when you're up here, because you don't want to be underneath the bells when they ring. Right, Jim. You get that one? They don't look too bad actually, do they?
Right, yeah.
Can you get it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's all gone in.
Yeah, you can hear it.
See it all gone in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check these others then, Jim, just quickly, and then. Alright, you can see it there squeezing.
You can see it coming through, yeah.
Split pin's alright.
Split pin's fine.
That one is. On the, yeah.
One underneath.
Oh, that one.
The torch on there.
Split pin's fine. In the past we've had where the split pin breaks, and while they're working, then the pin drops out, the shackle drops out, and then the rope drops off, and it just ends up sitting on the wood, and then you know you've got a problem because you've got a chime missing. Right. So then you come up and right. Yeah. Just have a quick look at this one. How's that looking, Jim? All right, isn't it?
You can get it with it now. The knees normally stay up.
Oh, you can hear that. I mean, I should say these hammers have been up here, haven't they, for a few hundred years?
A few hundred years.
Yeah.
At least a couple of hundred years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But from time to time we need to do work on them. I mean, you can see all the new painted bits. There's been work done on it in the past, but it all comes apart in pieces, so it's not just one big solid lump.
Yeah.
If you can push down on that, then yeah.
We normally put a bit of grease on the leaf spring, so we have to push the big hammer down.
You have to push
so
down on that.
It takes two of you to actually do it.
Jim's the only man that can do it.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh, look there, look. I got it.
Yep.
Right, that's lovely, Jim.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of access down there still on the corner if you want to take. Just now.
Where, down here?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, look.
There's quite a bit of new grease there. Just.
That's all right. That's fine, mate.
You ready?
Yeah. That's it. You can still hear it.
Pigeons.
Yeah, we've got a couple of pigeons in.
A few pigeons have
We
gone
don't
into
know.
the-
We don't know how they get in, but
There's one up there.
yeah, somewhere up there, Jim, isn't there?
Just two up there.
Where
Just in the corner. Just in that corner. Sitting on the ledge.
are they?
Just there, look.
Where? Oh,
One there.
oh, they're coming in from outside.
Yeah.
They're coming in from outside.
Can squeeze himself
He's
in
not
there.
going to get through there, is he? He's not going to get through.
He's going to try.
Oh,
Push himself.
well,
That's
there you
where
are.
they're getting in.
Jim,
Right, I've sussed
found it.
I found it.
Columbo.
Finally, I found it.
Columbo.
Yes. Found out where the pigeons are getting in all this time.
We couldn't work out whether we're getting in and out because we've got netting. All the glass is all right. All the wood's all right. We couldn't work out how they were getting
It's in
in.
the
but-
pasture, so you've had a louver blow out from the top, and the pigeons flown in.
I mean, obviously we come to the bells once a month. Sometimes might just pop up to the top and have a quick look round. So, I mean, I do try to get up here probably once a month if I can. I mean, you know, 'cause there's not a lot can go wrong, but there again, you check the rainwater outlets, make sure there's nothing got. I mean, it's a high point, so you don't get any sort of litter and things, but occasionally you might get a dead pigeon and it might block the rainwater outlets. So I do like to get up here and check just to make sure everything's all right. I'm all right for heights, yeah. I couldn't do bungee jumping and things like that, but I'm all right I'm all right on a solid structure. See, all round the city, round across to sort of across to the Wolds. I mean, on a good clear day, you can see Boston Stump, but amazing views. Not so pleasant on a wet and windy day, but not too bad today. A little bit of breeze, but nice and sunny. It's all right.
Checking the fire alarms throughout the cathedral and in the surrounding buildings is also part of Stuart's job.
Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to turn the little key in here for the test facility. Right, okay. That whistle is obviously a warning, so that we don't forget it. And if we do forget it, obviously somebody else will let us know we've left it on. So the next part of the jigsaw is when the fire alarm goes off in the cathedral, all the lights will come on full setting because there's a part of the system where if the fire alarm goes off, all the lights come on full, obviously for people getting out and evacuation. So at the moment the lights are not on very high, so I'll just have a quick look and see what settings they're on. Right, okay, so that's checked the settings. At the moment they're on normal day because it was sunny this morning. They've had them on just like what they call normal day, which is not a very high setting. And we do this every Wednesday. And there's only probably 1 week of the year we don't do it, and that's between Christmas and New Year when we're not at work. But it does get done every week. Right, now I just need to bring my colleague, just to let him know that I'm ready at this end. Hi Jim. Right, okay, light settings are on at normal day. And I'm ready when you are. And I'll see you back at the West End. Bye, bye. Right, okay. That's it, that's that. That's that one done. Okay, so this is the second fire alarm test. So Jim will go into this door and we'll go up this staircase, and then I'll be setting it off and Jim will be doing silencing the panel. Okay. Get my key fob ready just in case. No, it is. Okay, that's the security alarm off. Go through this door now. So this building, the Exchequer Gate Arch, this is primarily used by the Cathedral Library for book storage. As you can see, lots of bookshelves and books. So there's quite a few rooms within the arch, and like I say, used by the Cathedral Library. Some really old manuscripts at the bottom, big manuscripts on the bottom shelves. Find the right key. Every door has a different key. Right, so it's my turn now to set the fire alarm off. So we've double checked. We've got the test key on, so we know we're not going to. Oh, there we go. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. That's right, that's it. There. Okay, that's that one. I just need to find Jim. Are we ready, Jim?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, yes. Right, okay, so I'll just set it off. Okay.
Yep, ready, Stu.
Right.
Yep, and that just resets it.
That's it, that's the third one done then.
Stuart regularly checks the lighting fixtures throughout the cathedral to replace any blown bulbs. It's not as simple as it sounds. The bulbs are rather bigger than usual, and the fixtures are very high.
Okay, so my store where I keep the light bulbs is just around this corner, only a few steps this time. How many staircases? You know, I don't really know. Quite a lot, because wherever you go you seem to want to go up a staircase. Right, okay, let's just see what... right. So, as you can see by the stores, we've got lots of different light bulbs within the cathedral. These are probably the biggest ones we change. These ones. 2, 4, 5, 6. I think we want about 7. I think. The little signs. Right. Okay. So we'll get the ladder out of storage. So this big shed, we've constructed this big shed as a storage shed for ourselves, really, to keep various things in. So when we get it into the cathedral, it turns vertical, and then you can hoist it up, and then I climb up it and go in a little basket at the top. It's like being on the crow's nest of a ship. We're all the time training, different training schemes, where we just, all the skills for the future. People come, learn all traditional skills, and that just carries on through the generations. So we need to pass our knowledge on. Right, okay, here goes.
Now the fun starts.
That's better. Okay. It rocks about a bit at the top. Right, pop the ladder away then, and then it'll be coffee time. But it is quite a tight-knit group of lads, really. People do get on. It's really good working atmosphere, and the people around, really good. The job was made for me, and I was made for the job. Really happy. I just look forward to coming to work. I'm happy all day. I have a variety of jobs to do. So I think it's probably the variety of different jobs just keeps it really good. When you say you work at Lincoln Cathedral, it's just, I don't know, it's just like I say, we were made for each other.